Well, I really don't know where to start this video. This commentary has been one of the hardest I've had to do. There is so much information to cover regarding Black Ops 3 Zombies that I'm just going to jump into it. It's going to be a bit of a ramble. We're going to have some video going in the background. We're going to be breaking down video. We're going to be talking about what we saw at the reveal, and we're also going to be talking about some stuff that I learned exclusively by having a sit down with Jason Blundell and Craig Houston while I was at the event. Now, unless you're living under a rock, you should know by now we're getting 3 zombie maps at the launch of Black Ops 4, which is unheard of. Very exciting stuff there. We're getting the map called 9. We're getting a map called Voyage of Despair, and we're also getting Blood of the Dead. We're going to jump into a couple of those maps here in a little bit and talk about them a little bit more, but we learned some other stuff at the reveal.
Custom mutations, over 100 different customizable options that will allow you to play the game your way, changing the fundamental rules and systems of the gameplay experience. Things like zombie speed, health, trainability, type, player damage, magic box functionality, and much, much more.
We're gonna have more options when it comes to playing zombies. We're gonna have something known as custom mutations. So this is a way that you can set up the game and you can play zombies however you want to. You're gonna be able to adjust the speed of the zombies, the health of the zombies, and a whole lot more, including something known as magic box personality. Now this, I want to stop right here and let's talk about this for a second. So magic box personality. I was able, like I said, to sit down with Jason Blundell and Craig Houston, myself and about 25 other zombie YouTubers, and they were able to answer some questions, but most of the time it was a cryptic answer. But when it came to magic box personality, I was very curious. You guys know I love doing challenges in zombies. Specifically, sometimes I want to do like a sniper rifle only or a pistol only challenge, something like that. Well, Jason has told me that, guys, we can actually tell the box what guns to have inside of it. So if I only want there to be sniper rifles in the box, then there is only gonna be sniper rifles in the box. This is gonna change the game in the way that you like to do challenges. I'm not the only person that likes to do challenges. I know some of you guys try my challenges. There are other YouTubers that do challenges, and it's just a fun way to play the box. Maybe you only want wonder weapons in there. Perhaps that will be something that can happen. I thought that's a really cool change. That's those guys at Treyarch looking at the community, seeing the way that some of us play the game, and go ahead and giving those people an option to play the game that way if they want to. And I think that's just great. That is great support to the community from the developers, and you don't see that with every company, so I'm very happy to announce that to you guys. Another really cool feature that Jason brought up on the stage was something called callings.
On the subject of custom competitions, we're also introducing limited time created challenges that we're naming callings, which will regularly introduce new ways for you to play the game and set the stage for ongoing seasonal content and a few themed experience surprises as well along the way.
And these are going to be limited time challenges that you as the player are going to be able to complete and get awarded with themed prizes. I believe that's the exact words they used, themed prizes. So these may be stuff like limited time camo that you can earn, or perhaps you can even get yourself some exclusive consumables or something along those lines. It'll be definitely worth checking out and seeing what kind of prizes we can get for completing these limited time challenges, and I'm looking forward to that feature as well. So this next thing is huge, and I think it's going to be really big amongst us solo players out there. Jason had mentioned on the stage that you're going to be able to play with bots now. So let's say you're playing as one of the new characters, Diego. That means that you can actually have bots load in as Bruno, Shaw, and Charlotte to play alongside of you. Now, in the roundtable discussion that I had privately with Jason, I did ask, are these bots going to be able to help you complete the Easter egg? To which he did say no. I went on to explain to him, though, that whereas they've gotten better over the years, there are still maps that you cannot do solo. The Easter egg, that is, and I don't mean not good enough to do them, I mean it's impossible to do them as just one player. I asked him if that's something that they looked into and are considering changing going forward into Black Ops 4, and he assured me, without giving me an answer regarding the Easter eggs, he assured me, looked me dead in the eyes and said, this is the most solo-friendly zombie experience to date. So in true Jason form, without answering the question, I think what we can take from that is that all Easter eggs in Black Ops 4 should be doable solo. So now I just want to switch gears a little bit. Let's talk about the new maps. Let's talk about the characters and what we know so far. Now we do know that we're getting 2 storylines throughout the entire season of Black Ops 4. That means we're gonna have the Ether storyline, but then we're gonna have this entirely new storyline that's gonna be completely disconnected from what we know from the other storyline. So that actually begs the question, well, how are they going to work DLC? Well, we don't know. They're not going to talk about DLC yet because we did ask in the private session, because look, if you're going to give us 2 storylines throughout the entire Black Ops 4, that would, I think we can all assume that maybe we're getting 2 zombie maps per every DLC, which would just be mind-blowing. That would be so cool, but we couldn't get an answer on that, so sorry guys. But what we do know is the new storyline. We've got these 4 characters, and I believe their names are as follows. We got Bruno, he's like the big guy, he's French, right? So that's Bruno. We got Diego, he's kind of like the charmer, the handsome one. Then we got Shaw, he's the old guy, a little quirky, kind of reminds me of Nero or even Richtofen. And then we got, I believe her name is Charlotte, or it could be Scarlet, but I'm pretty sure it's Charlotte Rhodes. She's the female. And these are going to be our new heroes for this particular storyline. Well, you can't have 4 new heroes without a new bad guy, right? So we have an ancient order that's going to be serving as the enemy. We don't know much about this ancient order yet. However, what we do know from looking at the zombie poster and looking at a couple of these trailers, I think it's pretty clear that alchemy is going to be involved. And as you can see, you got our 4 heroes sitting around a cauldron of sorts, and they start to inhale these vapors. And these vapors will allow them to travel through time and space, and they could go to different places. Now, why they're trying to go to these different places, like I said, we have no idea. We're gonna have to wait to play the maps to find out what answers they're looking for and what they hope to accomplish by going back to these places. Everywhere they go, though, it does seem like there's a member of this ancient order waiting there to stop them. I did decide to ask Jason while we were in the round table. I asked him, are they actually traveling anywhere at all? Or is this all mental? Are they just tripping balls? That's exactly what I asked him. We got a good laugh from the room, and of course he wasn't gonna tell me. He kind of gave me the standard, well, we're gonna let you explore that when you play the map. So we don't get a yes or no if they're actually going anywhere, if this is all some sort of weird vision, dream, and there is no zombie apocalypse. That would definitely be end game information, and I knew I wasn't gonna get an answer, but I just had to ask. So when we're checking out this map 9, it looks really cool. You see this ancient dude, he's dropping down the staff, and he's creating a protective bubble, and everything outside of that bubble is now getting consumed by these vapors. It appears that this gladiator-esque arena is surrounded by a bunch of the members of the Ancient Order as well, as they all have matching robes and pretty interesting staffs. We'll talk more about the staffs in a bit. You see the people outside of the protective bubble get turned into zombies, and then the gladiators come out, and they get absolutely destroyed by these zombies. And now enter our heroes, whose appearances have changed to more time-appropriate gear, but they are the same people. And so they begin to kill the zombies. And they're doing it with melee weapons, as you're seeing in the trailer. So upon seeing all these melee items, I wanted to find out from Jason and Craig if this was kind of like a melee weapon only map, because that seems a little bit concerning, and I figured the community would want to know as well. But I was able to find out, without a direct answer yet again, that these weapons are going to have certain properties about them that are going to allow them to act outside of what you may expect from traditional melee weapons. So yeah, they're melee weapons, but they're not going to necessarily act like melee weapons, and that's as far as an answer as I got from Jason on that. So, you know, maybe these melee weapons can be used to shoot projectiles. Maybe some will have like a boomerang feature where you throw them and they come back to you, killing everything along its path, much like the Hell's Retriever from Mob of the Dead. Don't know yet, but I want to show you guys this picture of the wall inside of the room that we were having this exclusive interview with Jason and Craig at. On the wall here, you're going to see a bunch of weapons, and I can assume that these weapons are from the map 9. You can actually see right there is a staff. But then there's like this little handheld circle thing. So this is kind of what I'm talking about. Yeah, that's a melee weapon. That also looks like something you might be able to throw, and it could come back to you. So perhaps that's what he's talking about when he said that some of them will have properties that allow them to act outside of a traditional melee weapon. And he didn't say there wasn't going to be guns, so I need to be clear on that too. He didn't answer that there won't be guns. He just pretty much spoke about the melee weapons. So there you go. I believe JC, or maybe it was COD Zombies HQ, asked inside of the session as well, what made you guys decide to go to the Titanic, which we'll get into in a minute, and Rome? To which Jason then quickly said, what makes you think that this is Rome? So I actually don't know the setting of this map. This could be in Egypt somewhere. You know, something about that staff with the snakes on it just kind of reminds me of more of like a desert kind of Egyptian theme. But I'm not sure if this is Egypt, if we're in a gladiator arena inside of Rome or what. But he wouldn't answer where this map actually was. I guess that probably is going to pertain to the story, so he didn't want to spoil it. Now, if we jump over to the next map called Voyage of Despair, this actually takes place on the Titanic. So I really like this trailer. It kind of gives you that really cool heist theme. Gives you a lot of information on the characters as well. This is where you learn their names. Pay attention to who's speaking and saying what name. Process of elimination. You can figure out which character belongs with which name. So you've got Diego here distracting a lady with his charms while he lifts a key from her purse. Then you've got Shaw, who's the old guy, with Bruno, the big guy, and they take the key. Then they're able to go into a restricted area that has these tubes. And you see Shaw put something in the tube that then travels to where the crew is located and knocks them unconscious. That gives Charlotte a chance to then unlock a safe that has an artifact. But before she does that, we get an image of someone who belongs with this ancient order. And on the table there, he's got photos of our heroes sprawled out in front of him, as well as a device that looks like a mirror and the dagger that Charlotte's wearing around her neck. And you can see in these photos that the dagger plus the mirror equals a new device. So in the very next scene in the trailer here, you do see that Charlotte and the Ancient Order member meet face to face, and he grabs the dagger and inserts it into the mirror, creating the device, which then creates the protective bubble and unleashes the vapor that we saw from 9. The Ancient Order member gets knocked out of the protective bubble and turns into a zombie. So I was kind of curious to know why our heroes were turning into zombies, but I guess if you're inside the bubble or far enough away from the vapor, you're not going to turn into a zombie. And then the entire ship breaks out into a zombie apocalypse. But you get some really cool looks at a couple things here. One of these things right here, let's stop it right there. What is this? My best guess is this is going to be our first look at the Pack-a-Punch machine within this storyline. So for these heroes, it wouldn't make sense to have a traditional Pack-a-Punch machine or traditional Perca-Colas or Gobblegum, because these guys aren't part of that world at all. There is no Dr. Monty for the Gobblegums, Colas, and stuff like that, so it just wouldn't make sense. So this, I believe, might be our Pack-a-Punch machine, our upgrade device. There is a hole at the bottom of it. It does look like it's a statue. It's got weapons on the statue. So I feel like if you stick your weapon in that hole, it comes back out better than it was before. That is my best guess on what this is. Now, I haven't watched any other YouTubers breakdowns or anything like that. So if somebody else out there that you've watched make a video has a better theory, put it down below in the comment section. And if you have a better theory on what this is, put it down below in the comment section. The reason also I think this might be our upgrade machine is because in the very next couple of frames, you definitely see what is going to be the magic box or the mystery box, right? And this is probably the coolest design that we have seen since Shadows of Evil and Mob of the Dead. This is a very unique design. I love the way it looks. And that does tell you that just because we're in a different storyline, that we are still going to get things that we're used to in zombies, such as the mystery box and the Pack-a-Punch machine. So what I gathered from the roundtable discussion regarding stuff like Gobblegum and Perca-Colas is that we will be seeing stuff like that, but again, maybe not the way that we're used to seeing it when it comes to the new storyline. So yes, you can expect consumables both in the form of Perca-Colas and, for a lack of a better word right now, Gobblegums. But I need to stress this part because this is something that's bugged me now for a while. World War II's guilty of it, Treyarch's guilty of it, and even IW Zombies, to a certain extent, was guilty of it. They did have Slappy Taffy, and they did have Trailblazers, which I thought were both very fun new stuff that we weren't used to seeing. But there's been really nothing innovative as far as Perca-Colas go in World War II, and there was only Widow's Wine in Black Ops 3. And I asked Jason and Craig, I said, guys, Widow's Wine was amazing. But then I feel like the focus was shifted towards the consumables and Gobblegum, and you guys didn't go back at all to the Perca-Colas. And there's nothing more rewarding than earning those points to get that nice overpowered drink for a brand new Perca-Cola. I love that as a zombie player. I know a lot of the community would prefer that over consumables, or at least let's just balance it out. And I was assured that there is far more balance between Perca-Colas and, again, lack of a better word, Gobblegums coming for Black Ops 4. So what I took from that is we can definitely expect some new Perca-Cola machines or Perca-Colas or some sort of perks. Again, I don't know if they're going to be machines or what, but we can expect more of those as we get Gobblegum or less Gobblegum and more Perca-Colas. It's going to be more balanced. So definitely look forward to seeing some new Perca-Cola machines in the future. So anyways, the map then goes on to show the 4 heroes standing right up on top of the ship with the gigantic iceberg in the background. And I think we all know how that story goes from there on out. But yeah, this is pretty much all I can talk about from that roundtable discussion. There were some other things. Let me tell you guys though, there was nothing that they could tell us. There's nothing that they told us that spoils or ruins anything that gives any one of us an advantage. But there are some things that were said that are just off the record, okay? That I can't divulge at this time. The event itself was phenomenal. It was so professional, and it was the best time I've had in a couple of years. It was that much fun. I'm so blessed to have gone. I want to thank Activision, and I want to thank Treyarch. Activision flew me out. Activision paid for my hotel room, and Treyarch obviously very, very welcoming. I got to see Kevin Sherwood again, one of my buddies that works over there at Treyarch, as well as Lee Ross from Infinity Ward was hanging out. And I got to speak to him for about 10-15 minutes. He and I just kind of stood there and just had a nice conversation. He is so chill, so cool. If you ever get a chance to run into Lee, just say hi to him. You'd be surprised. He's just going to talk to you. He's a cool guy. So that's kind of my experience from the event. I want to go over Blood of the Dead in a separate video. It's a very small trailer, but there's so much that we could talk about and speculate over. So I kind of want to make a separate video for that. But guys, down in the comment section, let me know. What do you think about having 3 brand new maps on launch? 2 storylines for the entire season of Zombies? Let me know your thoughts on everything that you saw, everything you just heard from me. I want to know if you're excited, if you're getting Black Ops 4 for Zombies, if you thought the multiplayer looked cool. What about Blackout, the new Battle Royale mode coming? There's so much content this year with Call of Duty Black Ops 4. It's coming in October. I can't wait to get my hands on it. I want to know what you guys think. Down in the comment section, let me know. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to drop a like on it. Subscribe if you are new. And as always, it's been your boy Laggin24, and I will see you next time.